Hey guys, Chart Stoppers back with another video. In this channel, we take a look at different stocks and map out their key support and resistance areas on their daily chart. It's important to know these areas before you buy any stock, and it's also important to know what kind of a trend a stock is in before you buy into it. Support and resistance is one of the most important things you should know about a stock before you either buy or sell. And also, if you're doing any day trading, swing trading, or options trading, you're definitely going to want to get familiar with support and resistance. Now, just to let you know, I'm not a financial expert. These videos are for educational purposes only, but I am here to point out key factors on the charts which do impact the price action of a stock. I also provided a link in the description for Webull. You could use it to start an account and you'll get 2 free stocks, and I also provided a link for Robinhood. You could use that to start an account and you'll get 1 free stock. And just to let you know, we will be doing 3 videos per week on 3 different stocks, so if you have a recommendation for a video, leave a comment below and I will try to get to it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and have your notifications on so you don't miss out on any new content here. Okay, so let's get into the market today. Today is September 23rd, 2021. You can see the S&P 500 is up 1.4% today. The Dow is up 1.6%. And the NASDAQ is up 1.12%. So a huge day in the market today, coming off last week, which was a rough week. Everybody thought a correction was coming, but as you could see from today and yesterday, big days in the market after the sell-off we saw. And you could see right out of the gate, just buying happening right in the morning, and it hasn't stopped all day. So big green days yesterday and today, so hopefully this momentum will continue, and we'll finish the week on a good note just like today. So let's get into the stock I wanted to take a look at today. Today I'm going to be covering BNGO. I've covered this before. I've done a few videos on this one. I'll leave a link in the upper right hand corner to the most recent one. You should be seeing that right about now, and you could go back and check that out to see how I got to where my chart is now. But on the day, BNGO is currently trading at $5.63 at the time of this recording. It's up 17 cents on the day, which is the equivalent of about 3.18% today. On the past week, it is up 4.5%. In the past month, this stock is up 2.23%. In the past 3 months, however, this stock is actually down 21.75%. So the past 3 months have not been good for this stock. However, the past month has been good. In the past year, however, this stock is still up over 780%. So you could see by looking at the chart, we are still up a lot going back to last December where this stock really took off. And you could see still on the chart here, going back to last July, the low on the chart is 43 cents. And that was right here around June 30 or 29th here. 43 cents was the low. And right around December 22nd here is when it really took off. And it went from around $1 here. So it went from $1 all the way up to an all-time high of $15.69, which it hit on February 16th of earlier this year. And right around February 16th is actually when we had our last correction in the NASDAQ. So that's when we saw a lot of these high growth stocks absolutely get crushed earlier this year, and a lot of them got corrected, like this stock in particular. Stocks like this that were just running out of control, a lot of their charts looked exactly like this, that just went straight up, no consolidation, leaving a lot of gaps behind. A lot of these stocks got hammered in February, March, and April, and it ended in the middle of May. So these stocks corrected around 30 to 40%. And this one was no different. As you could see, coming from that $15.69 high, it went to a low on May 13th here of, let's see what the low was on this day, of $4.30. So that's a huge difference in price, and it almost went straight down here in a nice straight line there. So almost as quick as it went up, it went straight down there. So a huge correction in price, and around 3 months. So pretty much just as fast as it went up, it went just as fast down. Okay, so a lot of people lost a lot of money, but a lot of people gained a lot of money on the way up. So a big run up in price and a big run down in price. But it did stop at $4.30. That was the low on May 13th. You could see it bottomed out around that 200-day moving average at that point, and we had a pretty nice recovery all the way back up to around $9 there, and that was around June. Okay, and then we did have a sell-off after hitting $9, back down to around $5 here, where we seem to have found a nice support line around that $5 mark. So let's go over our chart here, and obviously you can see I have my top resistance point at that $15 and we'll call it 58-cent mark here. That is where we're going to need to get back up to. We need to close a day above there if we want to see this thing move to new highs. Okay, we were never able to close the day above $15.58. We went above there intraday, but we weren't able to close above there. Okay, now going down our chart, we did not have much support in between that all-time high and around the $9.75 area. You could see on our chart no consolidation really on the way up, but after the big fall, we did have resistance around $9.75. You could see after that fall, we did pop back up briefly, and $9.75 was resistance. So that's where I have my first resistance point there. And we're going to need to break through that price point in the future if we want to see this thing get back up to that $15 area where we did make those all-time highs. Okay, now going back down our chart, right around this $6.50 area is where we have been seeing resistance. We've kind of been stuck inside a channel here between that $5 and $6.50 resistance area. We haven't been able to pop above that resistance point. You could see it's kind of been stuck there since it looks like the beginning of July here, since it dropped below that resistance point. So it has been stuck below there, and it hasn't been able to break above that point since then. So that's going to be very important also to break above that $6.50 price target there if we want to see this thing head towards our next resistance point in the future. So that'll be our first hurdle to cross, is getting above that. Well, actually, our first hurdle will be our 50-day moving average here in this blue line there, and we are stuck below that. That's acting as major resistance, as you could see when I zoom in here. And my chart is kind of messed up here. Let me try to fix my chart. Okay, so I was having some problems with my chart. I fixed that. But anyway, zooming in on our 50-day moving average, you could see going back to, it looks like, look, let me zoom out here. Going back to right around March, okay, you could see our 50-day moving average here in the blue. And that has been acting as major resistance. We briefly popped above there in June, but that was only for a little bit of time, and then we fell back below there. So our 50-day moving average has been acting as major resistance. As you can see, we've been well below there since July, okay? So we need to get back above that 50-day moving average. That'll be our first hurdle. Then that $6.50 resistance will be our next hurdle, and then we'll move on, to this 200-day moving average, which is in the yellow, and ultimately that $9.75 area. Now, another thing to point out on our chart here, looking at this red trend line, you can see we are in a descending triangle going down to our last support line, which is that $5 area. This is the support line that we have been holding since this correction has started back in February. Since we fell from those all-time highs, you could see we hit this $5 area. We briefly dropped below there, but we were held up by that 200-day moving average. And since then, we haven't fallen below that $5 support line since then. Okay, we've been able to hold this $5 support. We've bounced off it a couple more times since then, but we've been able to hold. Now, this red trend line is representing our descending triangle, and we keep making lower lows and lower highs here. Okay, so we're coming to a point here in the next couple weeks, and it looks like around the first week of October, this stock is going to have to make a decision here. Okay, it's going to have to make a decision which way it's going to want to go. It's going to have to either break below this support line and make a move lower under $5, or it's going to have to break out above this red trend line, which ultimately is our 50-day moving average. My trend line basically follows my 50-day moving average here in the blue, and it's going to have to make a move higher, probably towards this $6.45 resistance line. So that is what I want to keep an eye out for in the next couple weeks. It's going to have to make a move, and it looks like it may have already started that move upwards. We're basically on the edge of our trend line today, so this move may have already started. We reclaimed our 8-day moving average here. We're above that yesterday and today, and it looks like we're working on our 21-period moving average here today. We're above it already. A close above that today would be crucial. So tomorrow, if we could get to that 50-day moving average and maybe close above that, we might be on our way to that $6.45 resistance point. So we'll keep an eye on that. Let's just check out our weekly chart, see what's going on there. And you could see more closely our descending triangle. It looks like you could see our 50-period moving average on our weekly chart might be acting as resistance also, because you could see we fell below there 2 weeks ago, and that was acting as strong support during this correction, but we have lost that. So we need to get above that also. Okay, that'll be very important too. So we'll keep an eye on this, and we'll look forward to the next couple weeks here to see what this stock does, and hopefully it could gain some momentum. Keep an eye on this volume here. As you can see, the volume has been steadily dropping as the weeks go by here. So we'll need to gain some volume and pick up some momentum, hopefully, as we break out of this descending triangle. Okay, so just keep an eye on this if you're trading it, or if you're holding it, maybe pick up some shares if you think it's going to break out and hopefully make a move to the upside. All right, so that's my update on this one. If you guys liked it, make sure you hit that like button and make sure you subscribe to the channel and have your notifications on so you don't miss out on any new content here. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time on Chart Stoppers.